Let's start our today's exercise. And for our database, today we will cover it's like how can we like before we did doing this lab, right? So using different conditions like where, okay, having, and then we have some like function, let's say minimum, maximum, average. Okay. And next, how can we manipulate those our tables? Okay, so including how can we insert a new records? Okay, that's we're going to use, or like if we want to update, okay, any like row, okay, then or like certain attributes, okay, content that column. Then how can we update? Of course, sometimes we need to like delete. Okay, suppose we shouldn't delete data, but of course we need to learn. Okay, what's the syntax? And then we have one is like called a case. Okay, so it's a one example, and of course we have two others keywords we can use for the SQL, and I give you a bunch of exercise. Okay, so for the most of the time we need to use is the operations. So as well I mentioned, like insert, update, and delete. So we need to learn, and then what is also you need to know some basic like string or like some numeric or data functions. So we're going to use. Of course, for some of our selection, like we train data, we need to have some conditional logic. Okay, so the one we use a lot, like case or like if not. Okay, so I'm going to show you. And insert into, so we'll see a lot when we create. So we try to adding a new row. Okay, or we say that new record. Okay, you will see we have different names, right? So sometimes when we say it's a table or relation, okay, so we give it name like record, row, okay, and then attributes, columns, okay. So we're referring, so even though they are different names, so we calculate understood they are the same things, okay. So we are insert, then we are update, modify the existing data. Most of the time we will using the where condition to update it. Okay, so be careful. If you didn't put any condition, we will update all the rows. Okay, so you need to use the update and then delete. Okay, also remove the record from the table. So if you didn't put any condition, you will delete all the records. Okay, so that's why for the database, like when we retrieve or executing, especially if you are being a database administrator or handle all these things, or I know if you are for non-SQL is okay, but if you're working on a website and then you try to writing a SQL and then forgot, sometimes you want to execute and test it, and then you delete a whole database. Sometimes you drop it by mistake. I think it just happened, but it's not about the backup, but I think in Korea recently there's a news. So I think there's a fire, and then because they say they never back up the database, so everything got burned. Okay, so they have no record. Okay, so okay, really be careful. Always I use reminding you using where. Okay, so make sure check your condition. If we need to insert a record, so remember insert into is a keyword, and then we need to put the table name. And right here, we will giving a bracket. So the bracket inside will be the attributes. That means all the column names. The column names can be in the order, like same order as the original column name, like you can show on the table, okay? Or you can reorder it, okay? So make sure they match. So if you put the customer name right here, right? If let's say another values right here will be the values we're going to insert. So they should be matched. So if let's say you put country first and then customer name, then you should put country, okay, and then custom name. Okay, make sure. Right here they will be like all string, then it will be fine. But if you are inserting, let's say, a string and then number or integer, if you like make it in the reverse order, so you got the like some error. Okay, so be careful. And all the columns just like you can follow it sometimes when you're typing, or I don't know if you are answering questions. Okay, so any order is okay. So just like make sure they all match, then it's okay. And sometimes you will see some example they didn't really like putting the attribute names. Okay, but it's okay. That means we assume we're following the all the orders, and then you should insert all of that. Okay, and if we are putting in this way, let's say the origin table we have 5 columns. Okay, but if you just put 4 columns, it still works. But those columns, like maybe one column is missing, maybe it can be null. Okay, then we can do it. But if we send it, let's say is a primary key, then we should insert it. Okay. But sometimes maybe the primary key we add the called the auto increment. So later when we setting the MySQL, we say it's the auto increment, so we never touch the primary key. Okay. Like in practical, most of the time we will set the primary key and the auto increment. Then you don't have to edit every time you pass one. Okay, when we insert a new record. Therefore, that one you don't have to put the primary key. Okay, so extra case. And then next, if we need to update, so we will say, okay, let's update which table. Okay, update table name, set. Set is the which attribute. If we have multiple attributes or columns, we can just add in commas right here. Okay, so you can put it. So for the SQL statement, we just using one equal sign, so it's same as like other language. Okay, assignment. So here sometimes it's slightly tricky, you know. We use one equal sign for comparison, right? So like where condition names, right? And then for assignment, same. Okay, so instead of like using double, we always using one single equal sign and then set, and then always we say when we update, delete, always putting the where condition. Okay, unless you do have some, you have to update all of them, all the records. Of course, you don't have to put any like where condition, but most of the time, let's say you only want to update certain, maybe we have the sales number, okay, or a certain office number, or like the country, okay, then we always need to put in the where condition. So just remember the keyword syntax, update, set, where, okay. And if you say, okay, if I like remove where, if I don't have where condition, is that valid syntax? Yes. Yeah, but it will update all of them. Okay, just be careful. And then delete. So we will delete from, and then table name. Of course, if we have certain rows, if we want to delete, we will adding the where condition. Okay, we will only delete the match record. If you forgot to put the where condition, you delete all of them. Okay, so be careful. So far we have other like to interpret with the SQL built-in function, including the string. So we have the upper. So if you want to like select all those let's say the customer name and then convert them to all uppercase, then we can put in like upper, or like we want to convert them to lowercase, we can put like lower. Okay, of course, maybe you know like concat. Okay, concat, we're joining all the strings, putting together substring. You know the function substring. Actually, it's same as other programming language, substring. We only like extract only part of the original string. Okay, and then for numeric, we will one. Okay, given digit and then absolute value. Ceiling for, okay, so all this, and also we can get a date. Most of common later you see is like getting year. Okay, sometimes we need to work on like how can we only getting the year from the date, or only the month. Okay, or sometimes we want to only get the like the weekday. Okay, so all this.
Like a lot of databases we've been doing labs on right now, it'll have the dates as a string. It'll understand it through that. Like it'll
Actually, when you see that they normally we I would say depends on the database. Most of the time, maybe for developer, we are not really only saving the date. Okay, except let's say for BOD, the birth of day of birth, right? Okay, so we will only save the date. Okay, most of the format, and this is what we're going to save. Most of the time, like if you know in word program, we doing the timestamp. Most of the time, the time we save is the timestamp. Then we can extract the year, month, date, and then week or even the time. So because you asking the format or
Yeah, just like, I guess the implementation, I think it'll, I'll see it in an example later.
Okay, yeah, if you can show,
Like
yeah.
how it knows which is.
More likely depends on we define, I say either we define as the using date and then or timestamp, like either way, but the other way you see is the format we like present it. Okay, so most of the either way, we only save the date, that means no time, or we are only we will save with the time. So that was the timestamp. The timestamp they're adding all the numbers together, so it's a big number. Okay, so we after that we will calculate. Okay, so the year, so we can extract the year, yeah, date like that. So I would say mainly will be two ways. So this depends on how we when we create the tables, how we define the metadata. Right now we didn't really say what's the metadata. Actually, we declare what's the data type. Okay, yeah. So I think most of pretty common is like either way. Yeah. If you're asking, I don't know which one. Sometimes we can use like checking the type or depends on the question or somehow we can check it. Yeah. So well, I can only say in this moment. I'll see. And yeah, the conditional one case if now, okay, and then collapse. And then give you some example right here. So all the function you see, like if I want to like change of the uppercase, run it. So the comma like following. So if 0, that means I run it to, if I put in 0 right here, how many digits? Decimal digit, It's the same as to other programming language. Have you seen like run? You can guess. If I put in run and then put 0 right here, what does it mean?
Is it like a floor?
It's not. We have like run up, run down, but if we are using run, it's like running up to how many digits? Decimal place.
So you put 0, it's like in the years driven.
In the year, yeah. So we will run up to most of the time if we didn't say anything right here. Sometimes you see like run up, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So if we put in the 0 right here, so that means like 0 decimal place. So if you see 2, that means we'll run up to 2 decimal place. Okay, yeah. So we can define. And then as well as we say the year, so we can extract it from the date. Okay, sometimes no time. Okay, no time, then it's just a like period date. Okay, and then we can check it sometimes like if not, because we can check we say for some columns it's possible that it's null, right? So if you want to check it, then you can say region. Okay, so if it's null, then we put this as unknown like this. Okay. Yeah, so we have more. And the one pretty tricky is they call the case. So when we using case, so we want to show it on the select statement. So right here, we will going to like select the product name and price, right? So based on the price, I want to have a one column telling me, okay, it's low, medium, and high. Okay, so either one of it. And I put in condition right here, case. So we can like case and, okay, at least right here. So is it as is the name for the column name. So the syntax is case, and then when we finish and. So we putting when condition, when. So giving, let's say if I want to based on the price, I will show, okay, less than 20, then I will show low. When the price like between, and if you remember like for the, we used between before, right? Okay, so between and, then I will show it medium. Okay, and then else, so we'll show it high. Okay, so here's the syntax. If you have more when condition, you can add more, like extend it. When. Okay, then what you want to show. Okay, and also is acceptable. We can put in the larger than equal to, and like smaller equal to. Okay, also we can do it in this way and give a name and from table. So here's the case. Sometimes you may see the question, okay, giving a column or show me attributes like this, then you need to use the case. Okay, so just remember the correct syntax. Just reminding you. Okay, so more like remember always adding where condition and then backup data. Okay, here's the things. later, because when you have more chance that manipulate, including like create tables will be fine. But if you need to drop the tables, delete the record, but luckily I think you do have the import SQL, so hopefully it will be fine. Hopefully you didn't drop all your whole tables. But remember, sometimes mainly if the major like DML operation, then always back up your data, and then using the transaction, like we're modifying the multiple tables, and always like verify the affectable. Okay, after we execute, just compare. Okay, and after this, I would like to let you to work on the origin tables. Just like at anything first, how can we insert a new customer? That means you can put your own names. Okay, insert record. So here's the SQL. Okay, how can you insert it? You can put yourself like or any names, you can make up any. So try to insert it. And then next, there's some question that how can using update, or you can just find any record, like update a name. Okay, you can change it. You don't have to really follow this one. You can just change any customer name or any condition. Okay, you can manipulate. So right now your data, everyone's copy will be not the same. Okay, and then maybe some of it you can like delete some customers. Okay, so be careful, and also show all the product name in uppercase, or list the product and then show the price level. So you can follow this one. Okay, so you can make it more like smaller, like I don't know, you can put it low, medium, high, or like you can make it classify more in details. It's okay. And I do have more, but it's extra. So for this page, it's like if you do have other times, then you can finish off all this, okay? Or like concatenate, just like for practice, all those functions.
I don't think it does
Mm-hmm.
from looking at it, but do you remember if the assignment
Mm-hmm.
goes into this this section?
It
was 15.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Will be cover no insert, no insert. Yeah, no. I remember I didn't edit. Yeah. So mainly will be selecting that. That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I remember.
Up to joins.
Yeah. I remember it's like joining tables. And I just checked because next week should be no class, right? I just checked.
On Tuesday.
So yeah. And then I'm not so sure how many overlap. I say for other, like I already say I have midterm, there are people midterm, but I don't make the notification. If no, I will give it kind of revision. So quick coverage, let's say a short quiz, like cover all this. Yeah, there were multiple choice, but for database, maybe one or two questions like selecting and this. Yeah, so I will put it. So pretty easy if you go through like doing exercise, just like for revision. Yeah.
We maybe meet on Thursday then?
Next,
Yeah, next week. When we miss, we won't have Tuesday.
I can check if you want. Yeah.
I can email you and I can take that.
Yeah. You can let me know if you want to meet. And yeah. And this is called a weekend week. I think like we're kind of preparing for the midterm or something. Yeah.
It's like, I would appreciate that.
Yeah. If you need, one thing just reminding you, not so many of you here. Kind of after that week, I think that for the group project, okay, so you may be like prepared to like form the group, and then you can join maybe around 3 to 4. Yeah.
For this class?
Yeah, for this class. Even web programming to it for some like taking my programming, so can like form the group. And for programming, yeah, I will try to post it, and then the first kind of for a good project, first I would like to get in your topic like design or something, the introduction. Yeah. So it would be the first. It will take a small percentage, of your project.
Hmm.
Yeah, just like give me some background, like your idea, what kind of you want to be. For the database, pick maybe any business, I don't know, any model, okay, and later, because kind of like first, because for a project, you need to draw the ER diagram, so why not do you know how to draw ER diagram? Or have you?
Your diagram, no, I have it.
No idea.
That's the only question I have.
Okay, when you're working, I can go through one more time, so draw IO, let me see. ER diagram actually is called the entity relation. Okay, relationship. So it's a ER diagram. Right here. Entity. That means let's say we because your assignment, I asking to do like draw the ER diagram, right? So you can use any tool for platform. The one I'm using right here, I used to create like draw.io. One of the names called diagrams.net. Okay, so you can use, and for all the entities, so we can use an equip right here, and then we'll give a name. Let's say the okay, so we have the customers, right? Okay, we have the table. So basically, the most simple ER diagram. So right here, what's the relationship customer and orders? Okay, let's say I assume okay orders, and then right here. So we have two entities. Okay, so customer and orders, and we're using a diamond shape right here to giving a relation. Okay, built on the textbook, because we have so many ways to draw the ER diagram. Okay, if you like or follow my I do accept like if you following the textbook, like they putting two words and then two arrows. Okay, so they are all okay, but mine I just like doing the most simple way to do it. So you can use the drawing the shape like this and then customer. Okay, let's say you can put any words make sense, like you just say purchase or buy or whatever. Okay, let's say buys and like this. And remember, you can draw the line. Right here, we don't have any arrow. If you're using this one, remember to remove it. So it's just a line. So we don't have any directional. Because later when we learn about some hierarchy of tables, then we do have an arrow. So be careful, don't mix it up. So right here. Okay, so this one is already the basic ER diagram. Okay, so always can tell like customer buying the orders, and then the orders like purchased by the customer, like this. Okay, so doing it this way is the most simple ER diagram. And sometimes I will ask you give me some attributes or like columns. Okay, attribute names. Then if I asking you to adding it, okay, sorry, one thing I even in the video, I also I put the wrong one. Actually, it should be a rectangle. Okay, so let me move it. Because for the old one should be the attributes. Let me take it away. Okay, so let me. Okay, right here, let me move it. Okay. In other textbook too, we are also using the rectangle to representing the attributes. Okay, so yeah, supposed to be like this, and the eclipse one or the over right here. So we'll be putting the attributes. Okay, so let's say we have the customer ID. So I just put it in short form. Okay, so customer ID like this. Okay, so if I say please put 3 attributes, then you can like put. Okay, if sometimes I didn't say anything, okay, maybe sometimes if you see a question asking giving a relationship, let's say assuming in the bookstore we have customer purchasing books, can you draw the ER diagram between them? Okay, so then you need to start to think, okay, which 2 attributes? Let's say we need to have customer or maybe book. Okay, maybe they were using like buys, purchase, any words you can use. And if I'm asking you, okay, please give 3 attributes for this like ER diagram, like for each table, then you can say, okay, the first one will be let's say the like custom ID. Okay, if you remember, we always using underline to showing is the primary key. Okay, and so we can like add one. Okay, right here is no error at all, so we need to take it out. Okay, and maybe we need to have a let's say customer name, or we give it a name. Okay, and then just draw it. We connect to it. Okay, and then we move it. Okay, so we can draw it. For the question I'm giving, like asking to do on the assignment, so that one will be based on the imported database. Okay, so everything. So even I received the email, they asking like the imported database, so will be the same. So we are everything we based on the database, unless I have some new questions, I will give you a new SQL, ask you to import it. Okay. So here's the most simple database. If actually in the lecture part, I cover one is called the cardinality. Okay. So if I ask you to draw the ER diagram and give like also do cover the cardinality. Okay. So don't know what's the cardinality. So the relationship between the 2 tables. Let's say for the customer and orders right here. So what's the relationship? We have one-to-one relation, or like one to many, many to many. Okay. So what's the relationship for these 2 things?
Probably 1 to many or 1 to 1.
There only one relationship normally. Okay. So 1 to 1. Anyone think it's 1 to 1 relation? No. No any idea? Okay. 1 to many. Okay, 1 to many. Okay. And then last one, many to many. Or no? Many to many. Okay. So I ask you a question. If I have a customer, how many order in maximum? Many. Okay. But do you think that order does it belongs to one customer or multiple customers?
Customer?
Yes. So it's 1 to many. Okay. So no matter the order it is, so always 1 to many, many to many, or 1 to 1. Okay. So really depends on the situation. Really for most of the time depends on the business model, because I cannot really say, okay, it always being like 1 to many or many to many. Okay. So really depends on, sometimes we based on assumption of the business, or sometimes just like I have to give you a question, is many to many, or there's a question for 1 to many. So we do have certain assumption. And how can we read it, or how can you because on the textbook they have their own way to representing it, but I will using the way is better. So I put in a text right here. How can we read it, the relationship? Calculated, let's say I put in a comma right here. So 1 to 1. And then when we put in, okay, this pretty common like confuse you is about like which side we're going to read. So when we reading on the customer, let's say, what's the relationship between them, like 1 to many, like 1 to 1, many to many, then let's say already putting right here. So when we talking like customer, okay, maybe let's say they purchase, make an order, let's say like this. So we are always like putting right next to the table right here. So it's a customer can make how many orders? So many, right? So we're putting many right here on this side, right next to it. Okay. And the orders only made by or purchased by customer will be 1, right? So it's right here. Okay. So this part is cardinality. Okay. also relationship, and then also the cardinality. In the lecture part, if you forgot, then we will go through it. And then another one is like we're showing is the minimum. Okay. So right here, the first one, you can see the comma right here. Okay. So because the customer maximum, okay, because I'm one-to-many relationship, so you can see it's one-to-many. Okay. And then the one in front is like, so is the minimum. Okay. So sometimes like at least one or no. Okay, that means 1 or 0. Okay. So if for customer, do you think is 0, that means like no order, or at least one order? At least one? Do you think it's like 0 or 1? Most like on the database, okay. 1, if you think. How many of you agree it should be like 1, at least 1? 1, 1. Okay.
Can I say
Then,
this right now?
no, okay, so now anyone want to change?
You can have an Amazon account and just look around.
Yes. So, right, okay. So you mislead all everyone. Okay, true. Okay, so true. So I say when most of time, like it makes sense, right? I can have a customer account, but this customer never purchased at all. Okay, so it can be 0. That means no. So it should be 0 now. Okay. So the relationship. Then how about the orders? Can it be 0 right here? No customer. Okay.
That's what has to have one.
Okay. How many of you agree?
I don't see how you have an order without a customer.
Yeah. So so if do somebody saying yes, okay. So if there's an order exists, should be have a customer order, right? It's impossible. Oh, I have an order, but I don't know who ordered, right? So one. If I asking you yeah, so depends on the question I'm asking. If I say, oh, just like if I didn't mention anything, give me the ER diagram. Give me the most simple one. Rectangle, entirety name, diamond. Okay, give me a word. Okay, and then another entirety, a name. That's it. It's a basic ER diagram. So if I request you, okay, depends on the question. Also, give me 1 attribute or 2 attributes, including the primary key, edit, and using the underline. Okay. And sometimes if you see the double underline is representing the foreign key. Okay, showing the foreign key. And if I ask you, okay, show me the like relationship and cardinality, then you can use the square. Okay, and because like on the textbook, they have another way to represent it. Okay, like one stroke and then with legs somehow. There's a most of the textbook, but I prefer like doing it this way. It's like better for reading. Just be careful which side. So when we're reading, so when we're pointing, let's say customer, then you're always pointing on this side. Okay. So how many? Any? Okay. And yep. Question.
What are the keys?
The key.
The key, yeah. It's you and your assignment asks the entities, which is the ellipses, right? The
Entity is a rectangle.
entities are
Yeah.
that's the actual.
Yeah.
subject.
Entity, that means the object itself. Okay. That means the table. Okay. So we're saying, okay, the table. So it's rectangle. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
The relationship, which is the
Diamond.
just
Yeah.
the-
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the diamond.
Yes. Really.
That's what ties them is the relationship. Like it's usually like an action. right?
Yes, a more like action. Yeah. So is it because on the textbook they put like 2 words like because they put in 2. Let's say I purchase the order, make an order, and then like order buy. Okay, so it's like kind of like then they put in like 2 lines like connected. So I think it's like redundant. Actually, you don't have to do it. So it's like pretty clear to read it in this way. Yeah.
The entities and relationships, which is just the basic set of an off aspect keys. Is
Uh,
that
If I ask the key, will be the attribute.
that's
Attribute, yes, yeah. So when we always talk about the key, primary key, foreign key,
Oh,
Yeah, yes, okay. And if let's say I have the, let's say CID, okay, I didn't see, so it will be the bowl or somehow. I need to find it. So right here, maybe you have the foreign key. Okay, but sometimes I ask for the attributes, you can just give me at least 1, 2, 3. Depends on the question. Yeah. If I didn't mention anything, basic. Yeah.
The foreign key, you underline the foreign key too?
Yes, we
Yeah.
do. Yes, yeah. So just telling you. Is it complicated? Or for the ER diagram? But later, for the report, you need to draw ER diagram, and then we have the UML. Yeah, so later is more, but it's pretty similar. Entity relation. Later you will see something like this. Even some textbook or they are teaching you, so they will show, okay, they were using this kind of format, ask you to draw the ER diagram. But because I want to keep like sometimes ER diagram is relation, like entity relation. Okay, for this one, sometimes I think it's like too much. You're giving the what's the primary key, what's the ID and the other attributes name. Sometimes if I ask you to draw the UML, give me the other name, I'm not yet covered in the lecture, so later, then you need to draw in this way, or you need to showing like in which table or the entirety, I want to know the primary key and at least give me like 3 attributes of that table. Then you can like draw in this way. So sometimes you don't have to give me the relationship. I just want to see like the attribute for that table, but we just like cover pretty early. So not this moment right now. And yeah, this part just I quickly cover about the ER diagram. I think you need do things. I think on the assignment, this is, or if you have not yet checked, and if you have any other question, you can feel free to ask me. Yeah, to clarify. And take your time to do. Yeah, if you miss what I'm talking about, so right here is the I found. So this one is the week 2. So if you see something pretty common on the textbook, like other textbook, so they are showing this way. Okay. So for the like, there's a circle right here. That means that it can be like no. Okay, that means that we represent 0. Okay, there's a vertical stroke right here. That means 1. Okay, so for the 1 to many, so it can show right here. So it's a many, and then this one is 1. Okay, so it's 1 to 1, and many to many. Okay, and that's not I don't think it's a really like good one, but like long time ago they used for the textbook they drawing it this way, but nowadays I think pretty common we are using the way is this one. Yeah, so they break it and then use the number. So let's say if you had, let's say there's something like we say the sales and products. Okay, sometimes like customer and products, if we have the many to many, okay, relationship, then we can put M to M. Okay, sometimes we can show in this way. So I think if we're reading in this way is like better than using the diagram. Yeah, if you draw, if you're drawing in this way, like on the a report or something, I can accept it if you draw it correctly. Okay, I do accept it. Okay, because I'm on the textbook, but I would recommend to doing it this way. Okay, it's a cardinality and modality. So this relationship. We so far, let me okay. So mainly will be right here. There's some
Yeah,
You've written it off.
yeah, I wrote it for every problem already, but I don't know if it works.
It should definitely make a separate database
Separate.
to do
Yeah.
the insert and delete.
yeah. Okay.
I mean, we have the
Attach
original.
Original,
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, worst case scenario, just re-import it.
Yeah, we but so it's okay.
You're
Yeah.
gonna sneakily delete one more than you meant. Every other line that two sides is gonna be off.
Yeah, everything else.
In the future, why do you only have 4?
Exactly.
So right now we still not yet show how to create a table. So now like drop the table, create table. Sometimes we can even like drop the database. You will learn was like just drop the database. That's it. But once you drop it, the whole database is all gone.
Right.
Oh yeah. So you can try it. So if you want to, yeah. Um, in case like when you mess up all the tables, and then if you want to import one more time, you can try to execute this one. Is drop database, and then give your database name, semicolon. Okay. So the database name will be depends on the CSCI 340. You can drop it. Okay. Don't do it right now. Yep. So sometimes we think, so it, it's the RDMS, the database they try to portray gauge like weakness of everything. So either way, because we don't have primary key, so either we can disable the safe mode and show you coding for the references. Okay, so we can go the editor, change it, and then we
Okay, that's just about execution.
You see, it's under other, it says safe updates. Others.
let me see. They're Windows. You can put it on the Mac. Sometimes they're not.
I'm pretty sure the Facebook.
Yeah.
I think as long as you're not ridiculous and it's actually time for other people to present. So you don't say.
No, I need to find the other Windows.
Oh, yeah, I think that's fine too.
Let me see.
Maybe it's like. Yeah, I think that's got weird thing on. Especially for us.
That code might tell you what it is too. So that's right. The output.
Yeah, even when you think so the settings are very long, so it's just not that much information percent.
If you find I need to find on the Mac. Let me find where's on the Mac.
Okay.
If on the Mac, if you can find it, then
Oh, wait, since a preference.
Check that.
Okay.
It might tell you.
do you get a safe mode editing for the question?
No, but I got a different issue.
Okay, now good. We I need to find the. Okay. Oh, let me check.
So I've already inserted in this.
Okay.
Right, updated the contact center.
Right, okay, so.
It'd be
Should be okay, first one, okay. Okay.
This is where I'm having issues. It's saying it can't delete because warranty constraints. Oh, I said.
Okay, yes. Yeah, right. So I will explain.
Oh, okay.
So because it's setting, when we have foreign key, actually we just cover in the last part, like actually last week, lecture we cover because when we have a foreign key, okay. Let me explain to you. You can wait for this one, but you can, let me see. I think you can try to delete another table which is safer. Don't have foreign key. Let's say delete your no, your customer ID also exists in orders. Let me think.
It says it's foreign from.
Yes, the foreign key. Yeah, per se, yes. Let me think. Can you find any table that's let's say order, so I think order is safe.
Yeah. Orders.
Yeah.
What do you have to do?
You have to just.
Order, we don't have a foreign key constraint,
You
so
go
you
like
can
the- SQL.
delete, yes, maybe you can delete the last one.
Is there a way for me to find out where it's linked? Like for me to look, see, for example.
Hmm.
Obviously, for all the ones we have here, Mexico is linked one way or another to a different thing, like these.
Will we need to? Here's the things, because the foreign key constraint actually for delete. Because we have the foreign key, so if we deleting the record from custom from Mexico, and then the records orders. So because it's the foreign key pointing to the primary key.
That's what I'm saying, so
Yeah.
we orders
So-
first and then we
Yes.
from customers next.
We can do it this way. If you want to,
Orders. Yeah, I guess orders is first, so I guess. Yeah.
Actually, this part is the we have three ways to delete. So one is like for the first method is like delete the original one and then delete the order. And then one is called the cascade. Cascade then is like once we delete all the record. Or that called set to now. We have three ways to do it. So but if you want to try to like why not just like practice it, so we can delete the customer delete the order, it's okay. Delete the order, then you don't have to delete the custom from Mexico.
As in, we say delete order. I mean,
Yes, you need to delete from the order, then is a no foreign key. Or you need to update all the foreign key. I don't have.
That's okay.
Then you can delete, like update the Mexico.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, does that mean that for example, we have these customer IDs, 2, 3, 13, 58, so I have to delete.
You need a primary school.
Has to be, the
2, 3, then 13, 50, then 8, then I can delete from this.
Yes, or you can using drop table, like joining table delete and then.
So what?
Yes, it can work, but be careful, if your syntax wrong, you will delete all the record. So be careful. You can choose the most simple way is like delete, all these like, that's the first one you mentioned. So delete all the customer. Okay, and then you can delete all, you can do it this way. Okay.
Okay.
And so, see, you find the one. You find on the map. Okay. And the last one, you find so. And I think some of you got the photo of the. Okay. Okay.
Well, I just, for me, I just went to Finder and then then I opened it with VS Code.
You dropped it in.
Well, no, I download the file and then I just copied it. Well, I opened the files in VS Code and then I just made folders for the respective files. And then I just put them in there. So I got like this, so. Okay, VS Code.
So this is it in VS
Okay,
Code.
so because I give you those code, okay, so if you just run it, this is the base. Where do you need to start when you're working? Or like, how can you start working? So, and yeah, and yes, that one. So the meat and the latest. So So we need to start this part because we're going to install the necessary modules, okay, or environments like the development dependence. Okay, so after we create all this, then you can copy the source code.
You can just put it.
Yeah, you can put it in and import. Okay, it's okay. Or somebody if you want to only copy the source code, it's okay.
Okay, so this is where when I create my app, should I clear this out? And then create.
Yes. Yeah. Now because you download, yeah. So you see Mac OS because you know that codes like that. Yeah. Then you can stay here. This is for then you can stay here or in create new project. So then you
So if I
can
make those,
go back. Oh wait, okay. So it's the present time. And just and then. And that's why it's because it's yeah, just sense the differences.
let's do that.
Yes, okay. So just remember, don't forget to start a project.
Have to do that first.
Yes.
Right.
Because if you don't do that, you cannot run npm, run that or like run preview. I mean, like you just try to execute the like some sort of like API, yeah, JSX. You know, like if you only try to run those parts, no work. They don't know the entry point. They don't have any package. Everything build. Yeah, just think about this. Yeah, I only giving you part of the source code, so it cannot have you to build anything. So that's what thing.
I do also have a question. So I did import the file that you provided with their files. I also made a little home JDSX and we updated app JSX, but when I with the web page, I just get a blank white.
Post. So right now you're on the post page.
Yeah.
So you need to answer, okay, so suppose you should be with a pen coming from the function source code.
This one's good.
Okay. So when we enter the project, so we always start from the app.jsx, right? Okay, so you will see from here the navigation, so we're working on the navigation, we adding the button to switching the colors. So this one actually we have a step to changing the theme color. And what can we stay on the web page server? Okay. I want to go back to the application. The browser. So you try to continue. Okay. This is a tricky thing. So if you remember my previous example, so how? So we have two. So we have the apps and then the application over here. Okay. So these two functions, so things. Actually, some issue. Two functions. That will be. Actually, if we put in nothing help with that.
Right, so I just cut that and then paste it right
Yeah,
there.
so if you want to, you need to come back and it, or you need to like create a new component. Okay, let's say if you want to, if you have the navigation bar, you want to using all the page, right? Okay. Okay, so look, if you put in right here, so you just have to need any entry point at JSX, and then the navigation bar right here. We are not using it. We are not importing because we have two like import. One is the app, the entry point. So we cannot use in the and because that we export it. So if you come here, suppose that we have one in the app, we try and we have one here, I think but we need to move it. So we have put it in the same
Same function.
Okay, so you try to like either, but of course I would always recommend you to, because we may use this one. Then I will recommend to collect new capabilities, and then export it. So. You get it. Different mode. Okay, don't do it this way. So we always like the one single. Instead of two separate functions, move it to find. Take the app.
Do I just
Yeah.
move this over there? That's crazy.
Because the app and the.
90% of the basis is more like using these very simplistic commands.
Oh, okay, okay, so.
Yeah.
Move that, is that, you mean?
Was one wrong the week.
Which I think it's really fun to try and put a drop database or drop table into an LLM and see how quickly it works.
Yeah, so it's a fun way to do it.
Really fun.
That's funny. They did
This one you just some data.
Or even better, is if somebody wants you to fill out.
Stop it and then I switch to my source code. I can show you. If no question, let me switch. Okay, stop sharing. Context. Sometimes when I don't use some source code and then we use some package. Okay, for this one, for the router to input this on a plan. And then we need to connect in the router. And yeah, so if you see the we add router DOM, so we can use NPM install we add router DOM over and use this another package. It's called the rehab. Therefore, the VI router DOM we have to install the package. So the route. So actually the most easy way to import it is npm install router DOM exactly same thing and save it. Okay, so it's the most easy way because sometimes for the package then developers sometimes change the name. So they would available. Actually, if you look at if you Google, what I'm saying, because if you Google VF router DOM, there's another way to, like, when you install it, there's another package name you can use. When you check the.
No,
Okay, thank you. I remember or sometimes they call the VLAN router, so. Okay, so why not like, the old one, they're using VLAN router, download VLAN router, so.
So we're using, wait, so you mean we're using the old one?
Yeah, we can stay with the old one.
Okay.
So I made the proper setup,
Mhm.
how do I forget how to properly merge it before. Week 6, should I just take the app, the J6, copy it and replace it with the one here?
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah, that's valid.
yes, yeah, because the, but, yeah, because you also start with the points like, we need extra, if you just copy it, actually we need one more package, is the VN router. Okay,
That's
but sometimes, yeah, okay, because even though I say it's routed, because if you look at the, package.json file. Okay, yes, right, okay, so you see the VN document, so don't mix up with the router. Router is helping us to bring multiple page switching, yeah, so that's why, you need to install it. Okay, otherwise you have problem. So, because the entry point right now is doesn't matter. So if you go to back.js, so either you can copy the code, like copy and replace it. So it doesn't matter.
So you get copy, that's probably what you
Yeah,
use.
yeah, or you can just replace the file.
So just, or like on my server. So
I'm
I'm gonna try.
It is not yet, yeah, so, yeah, copy and replace it. Sometimes you.
So that's like that, and now, reason I need to install the router,
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
Uh,
The other one's a package, so we need to start npm
right.
install. Or you can put I or install, so, you can. Go in. You can put, yeah, router. Let me change it to npm.
I have Yahoo backup.
No package, right? Okay, so,
Okay.
yeah, so it's npm install, okay, VN router. Because actually for the, if you check the npm, they change the VN router. So this, so either way still okay, but you never know when they fade out. Okay, so, you can stay on the VN router.
Then how do I say this? How do I, like, it's just that, we're saying something about the name. Or, no?
Just display if we install to just, so yeah. It is the ones that belongs to the npm, so. This one. So this one is more like it's a package release for all the npms. So, right now you see, there's some, but one of so probably doing more like it's good. So they change the name, but we can still like import it as a routers. Okay, and then they give you all the example also. They give you. Just like for one now, because if you want to follow what we are using, so we can npm, then install VN router.
Yeah, so it would be like this.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So give us the install.
Yeah, npm install save reactor install
Save right there.
So right now,
All that's going.
then you can start to run your server.
Oh, for the server again?
Yes.
Okay.
Should I move that?
Yeah, if you want to follow the structure.
There we go.
Okay, yes, okay, yeah, so,
That I could just straighten, right?
yes, you can move it, and mainly if you would copy and paste, yeah, of course you can do that.
That's it.
Yeah, so if you're creating, sometimes like you want to like create and as a folder, like put it somewhere else, just remember when you import it. After you finish it.
Sorry,
Okay, yeah.
I did something
okay,
strange.
okay, so you can do it first.
And then that, I think you should go straight into this, right? Okay, so that finished, and packages.
And yeah, because like sometimes when we see the import, okay, context or context one. So this one is the React. So this one you import it, so that first import should be fine. Okay. And then the second one is from the context. The third one.
Yeah, that's what I just moved.
Okay, you move. So if you see, okay, right here. Okay, so be careful. You can try to run it.
See,
Okay, you can see, okay.
that would be just like from here, right? Like just, thank you.
One there, okay. So if you see some problem, square, I know some, she will have the one that is.
Is it maybe confused because in this folder that I'm running it, oops. This folder that I'm running it from, it also has lists. Oh, take this out.
You should,
Or if you
Where is
can't
it?
here,
should be
and run it,
included, yes.
so let me try it. That's
So when you create a project, you need to be careful.
how I name it.
How you name
Yeah.
it, and like when you change the folder. So it's working?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so expanded, so here's the things like, there's the file access, okay. So be careful where you put the folders, okay?
Careful where you put the folder.
Yes, okay, the hints is right. And then if later when you touch it, then you can try, why not we just changing the vision bar, right? So if you want to change the whole background, like, you know, right now we have the like, the light thing, dark thing, how can we change the whole page?
I'll change them.
Yeah, so you can think about it.
So it's in, maybe be careful where, but because the content, this. But it's in the.
Where's the entry point? Where's the entry file? Which file is the entry file?
Which files, the entry file,
Yes. It's a JSX, JavaScript example. Called, what's the name? JSX, right? Okay, yeah. So here's the entry point. So when we try to import the file, dot notation, so all the folders
should be the entry point.
yeah, so right here, so you see the assets, right? So assets will be dot/assets. So if you want to access the folder, here's where you need to
Move these two.
into the source file.
With both.
And also it's more, it will be more make sense because the source folder will be all the source code.
Right.
So we're going to put everything inside the source code. Okay, and then next, so right here, so import the pages home. So when you try to open the home, does it do we have home dot pages right here? So and check your folder. So right now we have
In source.
The way for home.
No.
So because you copy and paste, right?
Yeah.
But why you still have the home?
Oh, yeah, it didn't come with a home.jss, so I just.
Oh, so
basically
you make one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go, click on page, well, yeah, SCR, the pages, home pages, then just, yeah, your file. Okay, here, you know, here, you can copy, just copy some of my, I just copied this.
Actually, you can refer to the,
The.
okay, so, okay, so, okay, so.
When you say you can refer to the lecture?
Or you can refer to the, okay, so right here is a complicated one, right? Okay, how can make it to the minimum? What's the necessary
Minimum necessary,
function? And then components name, what's the name for this one?
for this one,
It's home.
oh, yeah, okay, home,
Okay, and then
you have to return,
something, just header, what, like, anything, any content, okay.
okay,
So if you remember one of our lab, I gave you like
yeah,
multiple page, really simple one.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we can just even like return, okay, maybe just adapt and then giving a header, okay, that's it. And then remember to export default. So this one is that we can import it.
so this one I should maybe, so use this as like a template where you can,
Okay,
but I don't. And,
because right now in this moment, do we need to use any use state use effect? No, you can delete it. Okay. Practice this.
okay, so this is back here. To here,
Actually, it's a whole set. So this one is a whole set.
including, that's an exception, should I make action? I don't need it,
Yeah, in this moment, try to create it's a minimum.
that's completely.
A minimum, just like you did it. If you're able to create a page like a minimum page, that means you understood the structure.
Right.
If you're confused right now, that means that goes.
It's gonna be go back,
Yes.
yeah,
So
okay, and then. I don't.
that was like in this folder. Have like one of your home. Okay, so how can we import a home? You have he's trying to do it.
Alright.
It's a bit straightforward.
For a home.
If you know, it's so simple. Okay, so what's the basic? So right now we have proposed, right? We are copy paste. So what should we change in this one?
So we have, so I don't need post, because this is for post, this is for home,
Home, okay, so I need to change.
so this is for home.
What's this one? Const. This one is use state. It's a verb. Use state, okay. So do we need it?
So I just need to
Okay.
display, so.
So we can give it off then. And I don't.
This isn't, so.
Yeah, because we don't need any like comments, anything on this one. Here you see the constant right here, or here would be the verb. Okay, so right now you do it. If you need it, yes. So actually we do not need any.
Don't need anything, okay.
Yes, so we do not need any. Okay. Okay. So when you see use state and you see phase D, so then we never use it. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So function name.
Function, then.
So it's home point. So make sure it's
Real. Proper.
image. Okay, so we need to export default. So it's like this is how we can import it as an end. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's okay. So and this part, they all match. And right here, because the post I try to fetch data, but you don't have to fetch it. So
Right.
you can delete remove the or kind of from post. I just want to keep the title, that's it.
Oh, right, because the titles.
Okay, then you change to home. Okay. And then you can delete all the posts that are, so start with the curly bracket, then when enter is to execute the.
It's the whole.
Yeah, so that's, okay, so let's save it. Okay, and
Would it,
see,
so
so,
we can put these two text.
you can,
I don't need that,
yeah,
right?
yeah, in this moment.
Okay.
So you can save it.
I see. This does look exactly like the other one.
Okay. So, and then we can go back, you don't have to time, actually for the, this one, it can help you to auto refresh, so you can just go back to the page.
Oh,
If you
really?
edit, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so when it's empty,
It's empty, yeah.
okay, so the next question, how can we fix it later with the empty, because you should able to.
Is that was.
That was my problem.
Oh, man, alright. Okay, well, it's not displaying.
Okay, good, you want to fix it?
Yeah,
You want to help it?
I can, yeah, I can ask him, I don't know.
Well,
It's okay, if you want to finish, I can stay, we can finish there, yeah, sure, yeah, don't worry. So, I think it's pretty fun to see you like.
To see it.
Juggling.
No, not yet. Okay,
But
so-
it's a process, like,
Yeah.
like if you
See.
try and then like if you figure out like why it doesn't work,
Right.
so you have you know the structure from the end.
So did you put, install save router doc?
Okay,
or
so-
not, I
Yes,
guess?
did all that.
So why
did
now,
that.
okay, so why now we are asking a question, why the page is black, right? Nothing, no navigation, let's go
No
back to the
header.
entry point, okay, no header, entry point, okay, that's right, you have it as a JS over here. So suppose we should,
Function that for.
okay, suppose like actually it should be working, I or it should be working. Then, first of all. Okay, so let's
I imported home.
So let's say you're executing, sometimes like we can check the parameter or the log, so say right here, it didn't say anything.
Mhm.
Okay, on the, like we have an update on the page one, so okay, and then let's go back to the page, so this one's blank, of course, so going now, sometimes I would recommend you can use the inspect the
Inspect.
console, okay, you can right click and get the inspect console. Okay, so right here we can go to console. Console, okay, yes, so when now is it? It doesn't matter, so right here, so. So with the program. Okay, sometimes questions. So this one's not the issues right here.
This.
Okay, first of all, the components and we'll see. Okay, so that's somewhere right here. Okay.
So, right here.
Let's go back and switch back. Right here. Okay, so. You can ask that way, or like you two can work together, so you make.
Okay, you remember what you?
Well, what I mostly,
Application.
well, I didn't really modify much of, well, anything to make it work. I just, opened my terminal and then put npm. Okay, let me just double check, npm install save react router dom. Well,
Yeah, because we already did this step, right? So if you go to packet data, because we already did it. It's not updated. No.
So wait, straight in.
yeah, just,
Yeah, because I think you reset the error, so I think, okay, so try again.
Both rings.
Oh, it's from. Oh, it's, I gotta do it from the terminal.
Yes. There's some issue on the terminal. The sequence of the save, it doesn't matter, so you can put like VF or the DOM and then
And
save, it's okay, so either way, so you need to just like know sometimes that parameter is okay, okay.
Just have it. Oh, it's on here.
Finally, it's installing, okay, you're good, and then we need to start the server one more time.
Hey,
Yeah, there you go.
these are best of the format.
So, so what's this source code doing? We have the post, and then actually there's one thing, the button.
The dark bits changes from dark mode.
Yes, okay, yeah, because I asked you a question, how can we change the whole pages? More of a, yeah,
Because it's only changing a bar.
yeah, okay, that's
Okay.
yeah. And I think why not, because the light or dark mode is pretty common. Like, you know, the filter,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Instead of button, sometimes like you can set it by yourself or by default, whatever. Or like you know, sometimes they can detect by the system.
Yeah, by system preference.
Yes, yeah, so how can we do that?
Okay.
Actually, it's more that I can cover with the lectures and
Yeah, I'll try looking on W.
I will try to give you more if we do have time, enough time, but you can try to do it. Okay.
Yeah, you said you wish this was like a 2-semester course or something, huh?
I would say yes, actually. You see, right now, I already move on the API, even the API, we don't have that much time. Yeah, so I only can tell that install it and make it work, and that's it. Then we need to move on to MongoDB.
Oh, we still have to do more of it. I
Yes.
didn't think about that.
So I will try to propose like, but I will see if I can get more feedbacks. I don't know. Even they're not last year we are teaching like have two. Nope, I forgot to stop it. Okay, I'm so sorry.